I'll never forget the day I wanted to go fishing. I always look forward to the sight of the river, but was told that engines don't fish. I ran out of steam that day, and my driver had to fill my tank with river water, but something was wrong, and there was too much steam. Fish were found in my tank that must have come from the river water. Sir Topham Hatt and the inspectors had to fish all of the fish out of my tank. Now I know why engines don't go fishing. It's too uncomfortable. I remember a time when James had an accident, and I helped get his trucks where they needed to go and took James back to the shed. One day, winter had arrived on the island, and I was upset because I didn't want to wear my snowplow. I banged my snowplow so much that it wouldn't fit, and I had to ride the rails without it. I ended up stuck in a pile of snow, and Terence had to come to my rescue, and Bertie had to take my passengers back to the station. I learned a very valuable lesson that day, and now I always remember to wear my snowplow when it snows. I'll never forget when Henry helped pull a train when Edward and I just couldn't do it alone one day. Just watch as they worked together to get the job done. That is how the three of us became great friends. I remember when Thomas, another Blue Main Line engine like myself, started teasing me because he thought he worked harder. But watch closely when I showed him that I am the fastest and that being cheeky never really pays off. I like to show the other engines how strong and fast I am, which sometimes leads me into trouble. I once was ready to make fun of Henry because he was all bricked up in a tunnel, but learned that really useful engines don't make fun of their friends. A splendid engine like myself should pull coaches, and I'll never forget the first time Sir Topham Hatt asked me to pull the express coaches after Gordon fell ill. It's sometimes really hard pulling troublesome trucks, especially up Gordon's Hill, but watch what happens when a splendid engine like myself puts all my might into a job. I learned a very important lesson when I first began pulling coaches. I was too rough with them, and it ended up breaking my brake pipe. Look at what they had to do to fix it. I'll never do that again. I'll never forget when the other engines were stubborn, and I helped the coaches while Thomas was away. I remember when Gordon got stuck at the bottom of his hill when he was pulling a bunch of coaches. I was asked to help him up the hill, and that's just what I did. I really didn't feel that useful when Sir Topham Hatt told Percy, Thomas, and I to go play on the branch line. I'd rather be working hard. I'll never forget when Sir Topham Hatt brought me to the yard to help shunt the coaches. I was so excited. My first holiday on the island was very special. I felt really useful helping Mrs. Kindly get to the Christmas party. One day, I was so eager to work, but I was rather careless and forgot to whistle. Gordon didn't hear my whistle, so he nearly ran into me and gave me such a scare that I ran rushing up Gordon's Hill backwards and had no driver to help me stop. Because I had no driver to help me stop, I ran into a huge pile of dirt. But luckily, I was okay, and now I'm most careful when I go on the main line. I'll never forget how good I felt after they changed my coal to special Welsh coal. It was wonderful. I remember when Gordon ran out of steam and couldn't pull the express coaches, and I had to help out and was a really useful engine. Sir Topham Hatt asked me to help Edward do it, and, well, look at what happened. One time it was raining, and I'd just gotten a fresh coat of paint. To make sure I kept my paint shiny, I found the nearest tunnel and stayed where it was dry and warm. Unfortunately, I didn't want to come out, and because I was so stubborn, Just look what Sir Topham Hatt did.